So what do you think about Lawrence Howard, or I keep want to call him Lawrence. What do you think about Terrence Howard? Do you think he's in trouble? You think he's
Terrence Howard?
He should stay off a few flights.
He shouldn't get on a flight. He should probably stay away from boats. Don't go to any gun ranges. Good thing he's not an actor with the Baldwins.
Dude, get shot. Don't do any shooting scenes.
No shooting scenes.
Check it for blanks.
So my thought on Terrence Howard after listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, I'm calling him... Well, actually, no, this is just who he is. He's the man who is rewriting physics in accordance to natural law.
Yeah. He's genius.
Low key. Now, if anybody's going to go jump into that podcast, one thing that will probably help you get through it is anybody that shakes industries, is a trailblazer. They might not be right about everything, but at least they're asking the right questions and shining light on the areas to pave the way for the other people to come through with the massive breakthroughs. Yeah. He's trudging along because he realizes something's not right. Now,
but like you said, imagine if he's just 10% right.
Yeah, even if he's 10%. Now,
you got to rewrite all the books.
A lot of the
books.
Over. If he's, especially the Gravity one, I think that was
I was just going to say, bro, gravity ain't real. You didn't know?
So that was the number one thing I wrote down from his podcast. His claim, gravity isn't real. It's surrounded by the second point, electricity and electromagnetism. Universe is not infinite but finite. Black holes do not exist. Detoxing, which is why he's 35 at 55. Negative space in the bubbles, which has to deal with the flower of life diagram. Math is wrong.
Yeah.
The Jupiter example.
Geometry is wrong, right? All of our geometry is wrong.
When you get to physics, physics is the core of, that's like the breakdown.
There's like two types of math, right? I can't even. I'm not smart enough for all this stuff.
Nah, I don't know about that one. Yeah, I'm not too sure. The Jupiter example on how you're able to build planets with electricity and electromagnetism and not gravity. Moons and planets are sun's poop.
Oh, yeah.
Resonance, morphic resonance, which means everything's all connected. Dust particles jumping away from Earth to a balloon with static electricity, proving that electricity is more powerful than the pull of Earth's gravity, which really kind of tripped me out a little bit. I was like, that makes sense because it's jumping up off Earth.
It at least makes you think.
At least think. Like,
it makes you think, like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
if that's wrong, then this is wrong. And then when he gets into the carbon and the hydrogen and the molecular thing, and you're like, this isn't scripted because he's an actor.
He's done his research. He's connected a lot of dots. Maybe some of those dots don't need to be connected because some puzzle pieces fit in other puzzles.
Yeah.
Other puzzles without it being part of the puzzle, you know?
There's got to be a debate, dude. Got to be
no straight lines in nature, which is why no man would be attracted to a Euclides woman.
Yeah.
Colors, elements, sounds all have harmonic frequencies. I'm a big fan of that, unpacking that one, especially his new periodic diagram.
I've heard guys like Dr. Stephen Greer talk about that. Like when these UFO crafts, like when they break certain things, they turn different colors and blues and purples and all these. It's kind of trippy. When he said that, I was like, I've heard that before. They say things hover and they vibrate into these different colors. It's kind of weird.
It would make sense. Like I could see that actually really working.
And then you get into a yogi's mind and their dreams and their ayahuasca shit is green, red, purple, red. Like same thing.
When I was younger, and real quick, multiple patents, augmented reality, and a complete new method of flight, the linchpin.
Yeah.
When I was younger, it doesn't happen nearly as much anymore, but when I was DJing when I was younger and I was listening to music when I'd get high, when I would hear the music in my headphones. Allegedly. But when I would hear music and put headphones on, I could see colors. I could see the sounds. I'm like, oh, this song is green. This song is blue. This song is orange. Oh, it's red right here. I could literally see them in my mind. I can't do it as much anymore.
The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Yeah. I could see the colors of the sounds, right? But it does make sense because sounds have a frequency, you know, subsonic frequencies, bass, you know, that you hear them boom, boom, boom when people drive by. That's under 50 hertz.
Yeah.
It's around 50.
When you talk about it, it sounds all woo, hippie dippy stuff or whatever, but like when you get into that whole like I can't remember what type of math it's called, but yeah, things turn into different colors, different frequencies, different. It's a
elements
trip, man.
Burn different colors.
Yeah,
that's why in chemistry in high school you like boron, aluminum, zinc. They all burn phosphorus. They all burn different colors.
Even when you turn on a stove, it goes from blue to the reds.
Different heat.
Yeah,
exactly. So that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Remember, guys, I'm an idiot. So Google all this shit.
Yeah, which leads to a really good point. If you don't study this on the regular, then everything at that point is just kind of an opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, so, this guy sent me down a rabbit hole, dude.
Bro,
this guy sent me down a rabbit hole.
He's sending a bunch of people down rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Not just you. He's sending everybody down a rabbit hole.
Well, that's why I'm terrified, because we were just talking about guys like Tom Ogle the other day. I mean, you make an air, or what is it, the water engine. Bro, you disappear. You get poisoned. You know what I mean? You create certain things, like these people disappear, dude, which is scary.
Well, no,
that's why I'm glad that he's as famous as he is, and he got on Joe Rogan first. It's kind of like what Alex Jones said a long time ago. They're like, you have all these conspiracies. Why haven't they killed you yet? He goes, because I got too big. He goes, the smaller guys get taken out. I got too big too fast. That's why they can't take me out.
So
and I was like, that's a good
because
point.
If he gets taken out, it proves him right.
It proves him right. Exactly.
Right. So what are your takeaways from Terrence Howard? Like, you listened to it, Terrence, 3 times.
I've listened to it like 3 times. I've rewinded it 12 times.
What's your takeaways, man? What's going on? I think
when he says you gotta kind of, I've been listening to Joe Rogan for a long time, so I can get past the point when he says, I remember myself in the womb at 6 months, and I could hear things, and I had this dream. I went into this library, and this library showed me, all these books and these ancient things, and I, in my last life, I think I didn't complete my mission of changing things in this life. And, I got into acting, and he was like, I think that's what got me to this point, because I wouldn't have been known and had the money and resources, right? And to some people, most people turn it off right there. I think you got to get past that. I think you got to go, okay, I've had crazy dreams that you wouldn't understand.
Yep.
If I tell you right now things I've experienced, you'd be like, that's too hardcore. I'd be like, dude, I'm not lying. Like, this happened. And you'd be like, anyway, so you got to get past that. The point that we've been talking about, free energy, new mathematics, new things, getting off oil and gas, all these things, right? That we control, we live on, the currency. I think what he said, I thought it was kind of dumb at first, but I looked it up. I looked up the names. These are real scientists. They were really debated. They were kind of the black sheep, and the universities didn't accept them, which makes me go, you didn't even give them a chance to talk? But their shit makes sense. So if he's coming out, and what I think the whole point of this thing is he's just trying to wake people up and make us understand that we don't know anything. It literally takes me right back to the Bible, where this one thing I read the other day, a couple weeks ago, and it was like, do not rely on your own understanding, because you won't understand it. Just go by these basics. Listen to what I say. If you follow these, the world should be pretty good. Well, we didn't follow it. And it, when you question things, and it literally says, do not rely on your own understanding, because you're too dumb. Like, you don't understand frequencies and vibrations. And when he's showing the Saturn model, my brain can't comprehend it. I'm listening. I'm like, oh yeah, makes sense. I don't know. If I was to tell my 5-year-old what that was, I'd be like, I don't know, but it kind of makes sense. I'm too dumb. And I think the problem is that you get these scientists that, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? Really smart dudes. They're really, they'll tell you how fast the world's spinning and all this shit. And then you get some flat earthers in there, and you're like, that kind of makes sense too, but I don't really understand it. And I think he's one of these guys that he's willing to put, dude, he just put his whole career on the line.
Yeah. The chances of him being an actor again probably are slim.
This is his last straw. This has to work for him. This is like round 12. You're done. The other guy's done. Like, this has to work, because you're behind on points now. And I think the point that what he's getting at is all of our math is wrong. Flight pattern shit is wrong. Gravity's not real. We're doing everything wrong.
Well, to a degree, it's worked up until a point. And Rogan on the podcast, he had a great saying in there saying, this is maybe why in physics we hit walls and we can't break through certain things. Now, Flight, obviously.
Even our houses aren't built right.
Yeah, because everything's in a straight line. It's not in accordance with
blown
nature.
Over.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, it works to a degree, but is there a better way? I absolutely believe there are much better ways to do a lot of things that we do. And the proof is in the pudding. If you look at everything, the current state that humanity's in, there's more. I mean, everything works, but at the same time, there's far more, if not everything, that it's built to be destroyed, built to break.
Yeah.
And then we have a lot of broken systems. We're not doing things properly. And if we were doing things properly, we'd probably be a lot more prosperous. Prosperous.
But that messes up this guy's plan. If you're JP Morgan and you bought all the copper and you already got the telephone lines going up, and everything's going to run on oil, and a guy like Tesla comes and says, we can pull energy right out of the atmosphere. This whole earth is kind of built on it. There's the North and the South Pole. Everything's made out of zinc, copper, magnesium, like everything's electric. I touch you, I shock you. He was like, you can capture that. We can have a little generator on the back of each city block corner that'll run the whole entire thing. But
you mess up with the man's plan.
You mess with the man's plan, dude. Your shit gets taken out. Your shit gets raided. It's over.
That's why we just gotta take those guys out.
Yeah,
just gotta take them out.
Yeah. So that's where I'm like, I'm like, this guy gotta. I'm making a claim right now. In the next week or two, he's gonna either be racist, a woman beater, or someone's gonna come out and Me Too him. Watch, he's gonna be in court for the next year. Watch, they're gonna Trump his ass.
It's gonna be so sad if that's true.
It's over for him, bro. He better have some hard backing because it's coming down on him full force right now.
Now, you said earlier about the dreams. A lot more of our reality is based off like people's dreams and perceptions of the dreams. Like, for instance, I don't know if this is the guy. I just did a quick research on it, but I know it is one of the stories of how we got either algebra or calculus. There's a kid over in India, and he had these dreams, which he was taken to like this beautiful palace, and he was shown mathematics. And when he came back into the real world, this kid who had never done mathematics before, as the story goes, starts running mathematics. So I'm a big believer that things can definitely come from the dream world, as well as the psychedelic world. A lot of what's it called? The Silicon Valley. Those guys are all rooted in interpreting all those signs and everything like that.
Well, they say we got internet from guys on LSD up in Silicon Valley. And then they were like, internet.
They're like, if all of our minds could be connected together, like what if we could connect the computers together?
They probably sounded crazy back then too, and now you got ships out in the middle of the ocean dropping wire lines to connect the freaking internet.
Yeah.
So
everything always sounds crazy in the beginning until there's a little bit of a breakthrough or people start to believe and follow, and then that's just when all the crazy cool stuff happens. But let's talk about that gravity one, because I think that's his biggest play right there.
Yeah.
But if he does...
Imagine if they come out... Because technically, did you know that gravity is just a theory? It's not actually proven. There's no solid evidence. And like he said, that's why these things are off. Because if your math is off and you're assuming there's gravity, then that's why these other things don't fit correctly. And I actually Googled it, and it's technically a theory. There is no solid backing. No one can prove it yet, because in science you have to have a hypothesis and you have to have evidence, right? But there is no solid evidence from at least what I Googled, which I thought was kind of weird because
there's an equation: F equals G M1 multiplied by M2 divided by R2. I don't know what those numbers mean, but there's an equation for it. But someone say, what's the proof of gravity? This, Damon. Right here. Wide down, not up. Well, Howard had something very interesting to say on that podcast.
Hold on, really quick. Gravity, as a fundamental force of nature, has been extensively studied and observed, but like many scientific concepts, it hasn't been proven in absolute sense. Instead, gravity is supported by a vast amount of empirical evidence and theoretical models that consistently explain and predict natural phenomena. Here's a brief overview: Newton's law, Einstein's theory, not Einstein's gravity proof. Experiments with no, it's not sufficient evidence. Gravitational waves, Einstein predicts. So it's not actually proven. So
this is proving it right here.
Does that prove that? Because what did Terrence Howard said? He said everything is electrical.
He used the balloon static shock as the example.
That has an electric force around it, and it's being grounded back to the earth.
Right.
That's why it's so hard to get off the earth, because you're being pulled back because we're electric.
Okay.
That's what he says. Like I said, I'm an idiot. That also kind of makes sense, but then I'm like, I'm too dumb to understand this.
To add to that, he's like, well, if you take a balloon and you rub it on your head or your belly and you stick it next to the dirt, particles will jump off the surface of the earth and attach itself to the balloon due to electricity, electromagnetic pull, which I'm probably getting wrong because he states electromagnetism and electricity are different because everything the universe works in balance. Positive, negative. There's no zero, but there's neutral. So what is that? I don't know.
Like I said, I'm too dumb. It just sounds cool.
But he did get me thinking. I was like,
but what if he's right?
Little dust is jumping off of Earth.
Yeah.
To jump up onto this thing.
So what if you did that in a bigger experiment?
Would we
huge balloon and you somehow shook it and shit started jumping off the Earth?
Could you just do this and watch every human?
Well, everything's supposed to drop.
That's a mastermind. That's an evil villain move right there.
What if you did that in what's that dude from 40-Year-Old Virgin in those cartoon movies? The evil, I am Gru.
Oh, Steve
Carell. What if you did that in a movie like that where he pulls the moon, shakes it, it gets all this electric static, and then shit starts flying to it. You're
all
like,
the money in the world. That's how you could rob all the banks at once.
You're like, wait a minute. I thought gravity was supposed to pull. Hold on. It's the electric current, like whichever one's. But like I said, I don't understand that shit.
Well, they have the great example of how Saturn was built or constructed, and because Saturn
was crazy.
Now Saturn has a very interesting characteristic. It has a hexagon pattern at its north pole, which is
everything's not flat.
How?
What's that saying? Are you saying everything's not flat?
I'm saying that planets have been observed as being round, but Earth has never been observed as being round.
Makes sense. He did say there was a north and south pole because when basically he didn't come out and ask him if the Earth was flat, but Joe Rogan was like, he kind of laughed. He was like, no, the north and south pole. He kind of ignored it. You could tell he was like, I'm not getting into flat.
Yeah, which is very interesting because it's like, how do you have two poles if it's flat? But back to Saturn. So they had this super smart computer that's smarter than both of us, right?
One of those quantum.
So they removed gravity from the equation, and then they put in a sequence of equations. I have no idea what they are, what they do.
Let me try to pull it.
But what it did is it was all based around electricity and electromagnetism. And when they hit but when they hit play to run those equations, it naturally built Saturn. And it gave you the exact hexagonal shape up at the top. Yeah. Which is quite interesting because if they used gravity, it wouldn't have looked like that. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting.
Let me see if I can switch to this. Yeah, so he starts. Oh no, I don't think this one's it. No, that one's not it. I gotta find the other one. But yeah, that whole Saturn thing, I don't even understand what all that shit is when the guy's explaining it. But some people in the room sounded fascinated. He has to debate. I gotta see a debate.
Okay, and this is where it's like, for some reason everybody wants to be right and they're closed-minded in their thinking. Why not just be open-minded and for somebody to say, that's interesting. Can you show me how you got that? Yeah. That would lead to a bridge of maybe we're both wrong, but together we can find out the answer in the middle or outside the box that I can't think of and you can't think of. And as we've been advancing over the past few years, especially with what happened in 2020, more and more people are waking up to the idea of, oh, a lot of this shit is wrong. I don't know what's wrong, but something's wrong.
Yeah.
And some people will call it the Matrix or whatever, because, well, in the movie The Matrix, Morpheus is like, you know something's wrong. You can't figure it out, but something's not right. This isn't natural. We shouldn't have this much pain. There shouldn't be this much angst, anxiety. Mm-hmm. There shouldn't be all this in society, which I would agree with. There shouldn't be all that stuff. But those people that aren't willing to debate, or at least have a conversation, you're actually hurting. Even if you are right, I still think you're hurting society as a whole.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Like Neil deGrasse Tyson, people would be like, nah, I'm not going to. Do you think it's because of reputation? Like, I don't even want to put my reputation on the line.
It makes me think, is there an agenda? Like, they don't want to teach you this? They teach you just enough where you know a lot and you can contribute, but it's kind of like a mafia boss. I give my guys just enough to live, but not too much where they don't need me.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder, is it one of those things, or do people honestly just not know, and they don't, they want to get their 10-year and they're like, no, that's dumb, but down in their heart they're like, fuck, this guy's right, but I'm not getting my books pulled from the shelf because this freaking actor wants to come and school me. I put 20 years of my life into this shit using the wrong math, and you're going to pull my books off the shelf, and now I don't get my name on the placard, and the university, there's a section not named after me? Hell no, we're taking this dude down.
I mean, I'd like to say, his total ego. I'd like to say I wouldn't do that, but at that moment in time, it's like, okay, where did you write the books? Why did you do what you're doing? Is it for the betterment of humanity? Yeah. If that answer is yes, motherfucker.
Yep. That's why I'm like, what?
Then do the right thing.
Because if we were doing math wrong this whole time, and there's all these other scientists that he's learning from, it's like, then why? Well, and then the Rockefeller, they set all the courses for class and your shots, and it's like, okay, well, they say the winners write history,
Yeah.
So hold on, I want to play this real quick. Let's watch.
Is the audio on?
Yes, it is. Nope. Wait a minute. I gotta change that again. Damn, it doesn't just save it. I have to do it every single time.
So I could use you right here, probably.
Like your explanation of these things and your description of the very nature of reality itself is not something that should be taken lightly.
No.
It's something that, like...
Thank you for saying that.
It needs to be laid out, and it needs to be slowly examined. Because you've obviously spent a lot of time working on this. This thing here. So, play this, Jamie.
Play it. And this is us...
What, Jamie?
Just to clarify what I'm going to play.
Yeah, and turn it up.
Hold on. There's two different videos. One's long, one's short.
No, this is going to be the video. It'll be the...
And you'll see that you get a surface of the sphere on the inside with the heavier particles.
The hell is that?
So the colors...
Are you basically saying, is this saying that you guys could recreate planets?
Like Thanos, bro.
Yes, this is a particle simulation of the physics involved in making up the planets. Like all the... So the heavier particles are creating...
Don't mind me, just making planets.
So for those that don't understand...
Creating the shell of the planet, and then the outside are lighter particles that are fluid. It's creating the counter...
Don't mind me.
The atmosphere of Saturn, like we observe scientifically. And the red ones in the middle here, where the magnetic field is strongly polarized at the north and south poles, which is the aurora borealis.
I have
Hold on, I'm going to get to it. See this?
You're able to change and alter these external fields and understand, like, at least this would give us a method of studying it in such a way that we now understand that it's external pressures being applied from the outside in, not the standard model where you have internal fission reaction in a nuclear in a planet with magnetic fields and iron cores, etc.
He's talking about some heavy stuff right there. Now, I just emailed you in Gmail.
All the angles of incidence.
Yeah,
All the
exactly. That's Saturn right there.
So it can
Those
do
are
repeated experiments,
actual photos.
But they've ignored this. This is in the beginning of my book. You go to my book, that's the first page on there. Before you even open it up, I've got this, and we rebuilt the Milky Way galaxy. This.
Well,
that shit's beyond me, bro.
when he says we rebuilt the Milky Way galaxy, I'm like, okay, hold up. What do you mean you rebuilt the Milky Way? Like, you got all the little itty bitty planets, you got the exact amount of planets, stars, asteroids, like the whole shebang?
Yeah.
What does that model look like? I'm interested.
So that's what he was explaining, is that he took everything from the dirt, from all the little carbons and this and the cells, and he remodeled and built a planet.
Mm-hmm.
Is that some Thanos shit? So if you can build a planet, we're talking about some Marvel movie, bro. Thanos goes,
No.
shit, just, you can control atoms and time and fucking destroyer of planets. Because remember he was talking about that gun he created? I was like I'm glad he's a good guy.
I think it was the real gun.
He created a laser gun or some shit. I don't know. He was like they have the patents for this gun that I built, but they're swinging it like a bat. And I was like, some crazy shit, bro. I don't know if we want this shit to get out. Honestly.
Excuse me.
Because remember when, man, dude. What the hell?
I think that's definitely what I think what Terrence Howard's onto. I don't think it's anything new. I think this information's been known for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think he's discovering anything new.
Yeah.
It's definitely been there. It's definitely been explored before.
Yeah.
Because
there's other people. I mean, if you go online and if you go on YouTube, there's guys from universities that go, yeah, like everyone's responding to this shit. And they're like, it's not too out of the realm. If you were to take this and that and combine these molecules. But he also said periodic table's wrong. Remember that? He said the periodic table's wrong. It runs this way in straight lines. That's not how it runs. And he says it's missing a whole bunch of shit. And that might sound crazy, but remember when Stephen Greer, or it was him or someone else, said that there's an element 115 missing. They thought he was crazy. 10 years later, they kind of snuck it on there. It was on there all of a sudden. Element 115, you go on there, now it's on there. He goes, this is the key that was missing to make infinite energy. We don't need gas and oil anymore. We can make a little nuclear ball that looks like an Iron Man plate, put it in every single car. It's infinite energy. But everyone said he was crazy. So it's like everyone's crazy till you're not. Right. Element 115 sounded insane. Right now, he sounds insane. If I show my dog a picture of a cell phone with his, with my wife, with Raven on the phone, and he goes, how is she in the phone? It's going to freak him out, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I think Terrence Howard
is doing.
That's what I think he's on right now. I think he sounds crazy until 5 years from now, we're going to go, oh, fuck, he was right.
He was right about some stuff. But also,
we can build Earths, planets.
But also take note, a lot of this is his ideas, but like the periodic table, that's not his original idea. That was from another gentleman.
No, he was just saying it's wrong. Like it's not in the correct. So when you try to make things, it's not.
But when
accurate.
he showed the unwinding, almost the double helix of the periodic table, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The one that had the harmonic scales?
Yeah.
That one.
Mm-hmm.
That's somebody else's work. Yeah, Matthew Thomas.
That's what I mean. He's not crazy because he's saying this is wrong. So if you already have Matthew Thomas's shit over here, I don't think he's claiming like to be like this isn't like his work because he even references to a lot of different people. I study this guy. If you look at this guy was right, this guy was wrong, and even he said there's a lot of people that have just been shunned from the universities. I mean, bro, look what they did to Wim Hof. You remember when Wim Hof?
That guy's a damn genius,
dude. Remember when Wim Hof? I don't know if people know this. Wim Hof, he's the breathing guy.
He's the Iceman.
The Iceman.
Iceman.
You can cure cancer through breathing because you make your body non-acidic and you get all these things flooding your body that attack cancer cells and all. You basically produce your own adrenaline under control, and you produce dopamine and all these shock proteins and it kills anything that's not good inside of you. He goes to Harvard, The pharmaceutical school.
It was when they had him test his central nervous system.
Is it Stanford or Harvard that's like the pharmaceutical school? Anyway.
Both, I think.
So they put him in a bathtub with ice surrounding him, and they hook him all up, right? All this stuff's hooked up to him. And he starts breathing, doing his shit, right? Holding it, breathing in and out, holding it, breathing in and out. He starts warming his body. He literally he's melting the ice around him. And they're like, okay, that's weird, but I mean, it makes sense. He's hyperventilating and the adrenaline, his body's getting warm, right? They inject him with
endotoxin.
They inject him with endotoxin. And they go, we got to have the other shit ready because he's going to start vomiting everywhere in about 5 minutes. He's going to be on death's door. They inject it into him. He's sitting there. Time goes by. Nothing happens. 30 minutes goes by. Nothing happens. And they go, that's physically impossible. He controlled his own nervous system and neutralized the toxin that they put inside of him. And he goes, yeah, I teach people how to do this all the time. There's people online that claim they got rid of their cancer. They never invited him back again. Because if you can teach everyone this, and they go, well, that's just a phenomenon, maybe your body. No, he taught 8 other people how to do it. They did the same thing. And they went, get the fuck out of my school. Don't ever come back here.
This is also the guy that climbed Mount Everest.
Naked.
Damn near naked. Damn near. He was almost in his birthday suit.
Yeah. Yeah, you go on Discovery Channel on YouTube, and you can find pictures of him swimming under the ice for 8 minutes, holding his breath,
he owns a
naked.
He owns a lot of world records. Do you know what?
He had to stop because he couldn't see. His retina froze. There, he was like, "Oh shit, I gotta stop because I can't see. My retinas are frozen."
This man was opening his bare eyeballs under negative degree temperature.
Yeah, but he does his breathing. He says it preps his body, and then he holds his breath for 8 minutes and just starts swimming under the freaking ice, dude.
Yeah, I listened to his audiobook. His audiobook is outstanding.
He's superhuman.
Yeah. You know how that all started, though, with him?
He lost his wife?
His loss of his wife. Lost his wife, and the only solace he could find was in the ice.
Yeah. He said he lost his wife, and he was walking, because where's he from, Holland or something?
No, I think he's...
Poland.
Danon. No, he's not. No, he's
well,
Dutch.
Dutch. He lives in one of those cold-ass countries.
Scandinavian is the term, Damon. I'm white. Get it right.
Scandinavian. Well, okay. You know, racism is...
We're Scandinavian, Damon.
Yeah, well, you know. So is Raven, weirdly. She's like Viking and Islander.
Is that where she gets her attitude from?
Yeah, she's fucking Amazon woman.
Let's go pillage people.
I know. But, yeah, so I can't remember. I'm probably butchering it. I think he said to get rid of the pain. He saw the ice, and he just went into the water. And it that pain, that, coming out of it, all the dopamine rush and because they go, what happens is when you go into ice cold water like that, the reason why you feel so good when you get out is because your body thought it was kind of like dying. Your body can't tell if you fell into an ice bed and you're dying. So it releases all these dopamine things to
make you feel good about life before you die. Yeah, basically.
Or to fight it. Like, hey, we got to live. You need all this shit. And then you get out and you get warm. And all those hormones are floating around, and it's the only way you can release it is through crazy pressure.
A good way to wrap that or give a tagline on that is comfort kills.
Pressure, baby.
Because
pressure makes diamonds.
There was the study done for the sauna, right? Mm-hmm. That if you go to the sauna for I think 20 minutes total a week, so 4 minutes here, 5 minutes here, just extreme heat. You are 50% less likely to get a heart attack or something like that.
Yeah. Heat shock proteins.
Detox, sweating.
Yeah.
All that. And then you also have cold, which cures all those. So in the middle would
in the cold. That was a good one, huh?
It was actually really good.
I drink a beer, man. Come on.
Yeah, you put you did 3 different accents. I know.
I went New York. Fuck, sorry.
That's what your New York was? Damn.
I went hey, it's a me. I'm like,
that's Italian. But you said it like Mexican.
Shit.
Anyways, so comfort kills. Sitting in the middle definitely will kill you.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Check it out.
Om deze te zeggen is nu, maar ik begrijp dat je... Nee, om? January 25th, 2008, a chilly morning for most folks. Wim
Man, where's the actual damn study at? Where it was like at Harvard or Stanford or something.
Hold up.
I'm not sure.
This is March 2013, Damon. Let me send this over to you right now. I think it's this one. Check this one out.
There we go. I think this is that one. What is it?
I emailed it to you. Oh, unless that's the one. I waited years to show this. I have to admit that this is remarkable.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, you got it right there. He's talking about the results. Scientifically, we cannot say it is proven if one person shows results out of it. It's really, that makes sense.
Damn, they can't explain how he did it. Anyway.
Through pain.
Yeah, crazy.
Through pain.
Anyway, so back to Terrence. But I thought he was full of shit until he proved that he has 97 different patents, and one of them
augmented reality
is augmented reality.
Augmented reality.
Bro, he came up with the AR, the AI world, basically. He envisioned that. The whole description's on there. Some company took it and did it, but he broke down how to do it.
So,
because somebody was like, well, he didn't actually do it, a company. Bro, he gave you the rules.
The rules to play the game, build the game by.
Yeah.
So,
that tripped me out.
I want to know how you file a patent on that. You're like...
World patent apparently costs $260,000.
And you're just sitting there like, if we were to merge this and this, and if I could sit back and see what this would look like how much detail do you have to give on a patent for you to own that idea? Because you can sit here and be like, well, I can want to this, and it's just you let your imagination run wild.
Yeah.
What can you pass as a patent? Like, how does that become a thing?
Yeah.
That's just a separate thought that I have because I'm just ignorant on it, so I'm not too sure.
But I'm trying to look it up. Terrence Howard patents.
He is like 94, 95 or whatever. You said?
Yeah, he's got 97 patents.
Oh, man.
Fact check. Does Terrence Howard actually have inventions, patent and application? Man, they're just trying to debunk this shit hard.
He's getting attacked.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he had to have known. Gaming. Oh, here we go. Check this out. So, patents by inventor Terrence Howard. I've been spelling his name wrong this whole time.
You've been messing up Terrence Howard? Oh, yeah, I've been messing it up too.
I was calling him Lawrence Howard yesterday. Raven was like, dude, it's Terrence Howard. Gaming or amusement machines. Real support. Gaming rules or structure. Gaming. Oh, that's it? Okay, well, never mind. That's good. But when he was going over that, though, all the different patents he has, and he was talking about that gun, and then he was saying that, after the whole Iron Man thing and no one came to his side, and he was going to court for all these allegations, he was like, man, I was just going to burn the world down. I was like, so basically he was just going to fly to Russia, give them all the secrets, and destroy us? Like, that's Iron Man 5 coming out, bro.
The return of Howard.
The next Thanos is just about to be him, floating around on a chair. You bore me, just floating around.
Evil Dr. Xavier.
I told you there wasn't gravity, floating around in a freaking rock. We all should have listened.
He looks back, bitch.
Yeah, he's just...
So, let's see where this goes. Let's play this out in our heads right now. Let's get creative. If he's right, then what?
Then we have to get rid of... Do we have to
get rid of everything? Or?
How do you... Because you know that if he's right, there's going to be entrepreneurs in line ready to make this shit.
Ready to run.
Ready to roll, baby. They're going to be...
It's a very good point.
I mean, if he's
chomping at the
right, you're gonna have
that's a really good point.
Podcasters, people dropping out of universities, people coming together, putting money together. I mean, he's gonna open up. He's gonna open up something you can't close, right?
I think it's already been opened. I think it just takes a little bit more people to start feeding it.
And I think that what happens is you have a lot of people that come forward where you can't get rid of everyone. Like the latest lady who came up with some free energy shit was from China. She disappeared for like 6 months, came back and didn't want to talk about it. You have a bunch of people like her. You got platforms. You got Elon Musk running Twitter where you can say whatever you want now. You got this guy and other people now who have the balls to come forward and say, I knew that 10 years ago. Jump on the train. And then you have entrepreneurs. You got Patrick Bet-David. You got all these guys. Shit starts changing. And the government starts going, shit, we're going to have free energy pretty soon. PG&E's about to collapse.
Shut it down.
We're not going to. Nuclear war is going to be a thing of the past because now we have lasers that can Dr. Evil bounce off a satellite and destroy the whole world. Like, where do you go from there? I mean, I thought ChatGPT was scary until he started talking, and I was like, his fucking brain gets into a quantum computer.
I got an idea. I don't know if this will work or not. Pull up ChatGPT and ask, what is the probability of Terrence Howard being correct?
Ooh. What is the probability of Terrence Howard being correct?
We might have to be more specific about gravity.
I got ChatGPT 4.0, dog. Assessing the probability of Terrence Howard's unconventional mathematical claims being correct requires, damn, it's going fast, consideration of several factors, blah, 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 peer review studies, peer review process, non-conventional approach, Howard's teleology, which processes that 1 × 1 = 2, contradicts basic principles of mathematical arithmetic, lack of empirical evidence. Yeah, I don't know. Conclusion. While it's impossible to assign an exact numerical probability, the likelihood of Terrence Howard's mathematical claims being correct is extremely low, based on current scientific and mathematical understanding.
I was just on the flip. Just imagine if it was like extremely high.
Yeah.
What about gravity though? Because it's talking about his mathematics.
Well, it already said that gravity is just a theory. Hasn't been proven by anybody.
Oh, because you did ask ChatGPT earlier that gravity has not been proven by anybody.
Has not been proven.
Can we get that on the record? Can you do it again just in case?
Oh yeah, here we go. I would love to. Did you know gravity as a fundamental force of nature has been extensively studied and observed, but like many scientific concepts, it has been proven in the absolute sense instead of gravity is supported. It hasn't been proven, sorry. It has not been proven. Instead, gravity is supported by a vast amount of empirical evidence and theoretical models. Not proven.
Yeah, you almost said that the wrong word. I was like, damn, that's not what you said earlier.
It has not been proven.
Okay. So gravity has not been proven.
From Newton to Einstein, observational of gravitational waves and the LIGO and Virgo observer, it's just a theory. While no scientific theory can be proven in the absolute, the concept of gravity is supported by extensive empirical theoretical models. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a few different answers because this one's saying this equation proves it, and then it's a theory and a law. It's an acting force, but then he's talking it's electricity and electromagnetism.
Yeah.
WTF. All I know is my ass is sticking to Earth.
Here's one thing that really blew my mind about Terrence Howard's everything. The one thing I remember from it, out of everything, 96% of physics is unknown matter.
That's a damn good one.
That shit stuck with me, dude. I'm about to get that tattooed on me. 96%. All these geniuses, they can't explain 96% of this empty matter. They call it black matter. They call it dark matter. They call it the God particle. They don't really know. So, even when the flat earthers called out Neil deGrasse Tyson about the earth spinning. So we're spinning 28,000 miles, blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, evidence now shows that's what we thought, but we're actually spinning. So this whole time, you were talking shit you didn't know. Because we're learning new stuff every day. And every day, something new's popping up.
And that's where people have to come back to, like, their humility and being humble. Is, I'm 32, you're 33. How many things have changed, and how many times has the truth been rewritten since we've been alive?
How much did we think you had to take 9 grams of creatine a day to get buff in high school, and all we did was get fat?
I got one for you. I before E except after C?
Yeah.
How much of a truth was that back in the 90s? Every teacher said that. Go look at how many words are not obeying that law.
Yep.
But that was told as truth.
Yeah.
Everything's changing.
I mean, dude, I was wrong about genders. There's like way more genders than like we were wrong about everything.
About that one, man. I don't know what happened.
Way off. There's like 73 genders.
Like
I was thinking there was 2. I'm an idiot.
Hundreds of generations.
Yeah.
Have missed that.
Wrong.
We finally got it right, and we're starting to get it right in 2024.
Yeah. So like I had this crazy debate the other day. Not debate. I was talking with a buddy. We're talking about the Bible and all these things, right? And he was like, "Well, the Bible says this and this and this." And I go, "You've been running around repeating that for 10 years. It actually says this." And we opened it, and he went, "Oh shit! I was super confident about that too. Like I thought I had that nailed down." I go, "You've been running around repeating what somebody else said this whole time, and you were wrong." So imagine what's going to come out in the next couple years as Joe Rogan opens up this portal to all these people who are not afraid to come out now. Because what happens when one UFO person comes out? Another guy comes out. And they never meet. And they have the exact same story. And they saw the same thing on the ship. And they know. And it's like, imagine how many people are just tinkering at home who are geniuses right now going, he finally opened it up. Joe Rogan just gave us all a platform. We're going to secretly start working together.
Mm-hmm. All the little back end deals that are about to be made.
So then does that mean there's no war because there's no oil to fight over? Because if we get free energy, 0 point energy, and we're going off these gravitational pulls, and does America lose all of its power? Do all the countries go, we don't need you anymore. We don't need your oil. You guys screwed up. We jumped on the 0 point energy before you guys did. I mean, China's doing hydrogen power or some shit now. It's like pretty soon we're going to need a new thing to control.
You don't think that humans will find something to kill each other over with or without oil?
But is the next thing scarier than oil? Because you can just point a fucking laser and
maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they're holding it back. Because maybe it's like, okay, yeah, if you get free energy, well, the powers that be, well, Damon, we've been doing this for thousands of years. We've been running data. We've been collecting data. We have systems. We have computers that we put in, and we run scenarios where if the whole world had free energy and we got rid of our addiction to natural gas, coal, and powered electricity that gets transmitted through power lines, what happens? Enter. Well, 98% probability within the first 40 years, you'll all have died. Due to X, X, Y, Z, 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 and lists all these reasons.
Yeah.
And then if maybe they don't have solutions for all those reasons. Maybe we think, just play devil's advocate, it's because they're trying to hold us down or keep free energy
keeping
from
us
us
alive because they're
but
like,
maybe they're keeping us alive because
they have no idea what this is going to
because we don't know what that next devil.
It's like me with my kids. Dad, why can't I do that? I can give you that, but what's going to happen is you're going to turn into a spoiled little bitch, and 10 years from now you're going to be addicted. Trust me, I'm doing this for a reason. Yeah, but we could have more. Dude, I know, but you can't handle it.
Yeah. So maybe war is good. Maybe poverty is good. Maybe these are good. Has anybody ever lived in a civilization or society without those things?
I mean, broke, poor India.
What does that look like?
People in India bathing in their own shit out in the streets. They seem happier than we do. They have dinner together every night with their families.
Damon.
Under their no.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I don't know. I was trying to back you up when you were poverty could
be right. But you just as you find those examples, you'll go across the street and find a really bad one too, I think. But I think that's just human nature. That's anywhere.
Yeah. Here's what I think. I think if we were gonna have this, it would have had to have been from the very start. It's too late. If tomorrow
It's too late.
batteries, like fast battery cars, EV shit, that's cool, right? It's not going. People think it's going to change the world. Everything's going to go electric. Bulldozers are not electric. We need construction shit to build homes. We need heavy diesel trucks to pull our food. Everything can't go electric right now.
What about hydrogen with the linchpin model?
But if you find something outside of electric, if tomorrow 5 guys come together, Elon Musk, some guy from China, him, all these people, these powerhouses come together, go, we're going to have our own private meeting. And we're going to go out in the ocean, and I'm going to show you this model. This is element 115, hydrogen, nuclear, whatever. Look I'm controlling it with a ball, right? With this glove or whatever. We found it. We can put this in this boat right now. We had to swap out the motor. It's a different type of technology. It's actually easier, and it's easier to mine for, because Terrence Howard was saying that he can send these things to go mine asteroids, right? So what happens then? Well, in a month, the stock markets crash. PG&E is no longer needed. Every manufacturer making engines right now comes to a halt. Everybody wakes up and goes, why don't I have free energy then? Why don't we have cars that just go for 100 years off a little golf ball of element 115 or whatever it is, right? Everything stops. Everything crashes. Bro, I think it'd be an apocalypse for a couple of years, because everything would halt. You would have people rioting on the freeways. I fucking knew it. Everything's a lie. You should have saved my mom. You could have cured cancer. You could have. I think a lot of jobs would be lost. The markets would go down. Everything, the oil industry would be done. Everything would be done, because you would have to very slowly turn that boat, that ship. You know what I mean? It had to be a very slow turn, because if you do it too quickly, it's going to hit the ports and everything's dead.
What if that's exactly what needs to happen for us to get to that prosperous, beautiful?
But how many billions of people are going to be without jobs, and just like, what do we do now? And then the government comes in and says, oh, you know what? Don't worry. We got universal basic income. You're limited to $3,000 a month, but look at all the free shit you get. We're going to supply you with a car. Did we just give too much control to the government? Don't worry. You don't have a PG&E bill anymore. Propane, gas, PG, all the shit's gone. We're gonna, all these new cars coming out, you can turn them in, we'll smash them, and we'll make these new engines and all this shit, right? But now all the jobs are gone, at least for a while. Computers came out, it killed jobs for a minute, but then more jobs came out of it. But okay. I mean, am I cool with being on a set income by the government?
So let's play that through.
'Cause everything's gone.
So let's play that. Let's play that through.
Okay.
What do you need income for, Damon? When you get your monthly salary, what does it go to?
Living expenses.
2 things: wants and needs.
Amazon. Sorry. Costco and Amazon.
Costco and Amazon.
Maybe
well, you
Target.
get your needs and your wants from both of those, but need, rent, electricity, food. So you're basically living necessities, your needs. So you work to get income, which is man-made, to pay for things that are man-made. Well, if this is all provided, and if everybody gets a good plot of land, X, Y, and Z, yada, 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 well, then you have your wants, and then you don't need as much because everything's already paid for. So maybe that $3,000 a month, when you don't have to pay rent or X, Y, and Z, maybe that is more than enough.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that's right? Do I think that's wrong? I think every model, if it's done right, will work. I think every model, if it's done wrong, will be bad. Capitalism done wrong and poorly is terrible. Corporations, CEOs taking advantage of all the people at the bottom, that's messed up. You also have, throughout history, kingdoms where you've had pretty good kings. Probably not all great, but you've had empires that have done really beautiful things throughout their time.
Was the Chinese wall meant to keep people in? I don't know, but they
You
were safe
know
and
what's
sound.
interesting about that? Somebody made an observation that I didn't research.
Were they
this.
happy? I don't know.
So when you build a wall to keep somebody out, you put your archer where your archers can fire on the outside where you can shoot the people coming in trying to invade. Well, somebody pointed out that those archers are pointing into China.
Get back to your cells.
And then that goes all to Tartarian Empire and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Since we're on the subject of energy, though, I just emailed you another article that popped up today. It is about an 8,000 foot high mountain that was completely reduced in Utah because it was for copper mining. Then the copper supply, so the article states, copper supply insufficient for global electronic vehicle transition by 2035.
Whoa.
To electrify global vehicle production by 2035, 55% more new copper mines will need to come online.
These batteries ain't saving nothing, bro. Woo. Yeah, these battery cars ain't doing shit.
It's stuff like that, and I'm in the solar industry where I have to sit back and be like, damn, am I actually doing what I think I'm doing?
Yeah. But like you said, I read this article and it was saying basically if you buy a new Ford Lightning, just as an example, it's gonna take so many years for it to offset how much fuel it took to build that battery. And I think after like 12 years, now it's offsetting the carbon, climate, whatever. Because it took this much work to get that battery in the mines and all this shit. It's going to take this long for it to pay itself off in carbon emissions. I was like, then is it even worth getting all these vehicles to be electric? I don't know. But then these electric bikes and stuff are pretty cool. You know, like I like it.
Sick.
I like all this stuff. And I really do want a Cybertruck. But I also have a gas guzzling V8 too. Like I want both, honestly.
Okay, so this is new. I'd never realized this, but I just typed into Google how much CO2 is produced to develop one electric vehicle. It gave me an AI overview answer.
Uh-oh.
Interesting. So check this out. The production of an electronic vehicle can produce up to 60% more CO2 than a gasoline or diesel car. The average EV produces around 8.8 tons of CO2 during manufacturing. 43% of that coming for the construction of the battery.
Yeah. It takes diesel fuel to get that shit out of the ground.
The manufacturing process for EV batteries is carbon intensive because it requires mining fossil fuels and heating them to high temperatures to obtain lithium, cobalt, and nickel. Oh my God.
Bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's cool to make it, but I don't think it's going to I don't think it's going to offset shit for a while.
The Tesla 3 model can produce between 2.5 and 16 metric tons of CO2.
Well, and every time you charge it, it's a diesel generator.
Oh my God.
Charging it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. All this shit doesn't make any sense.
I don't know if I need a measurement. I don't know if those are big numbers or small numbers.
Check that out.
What is this?
That is CO2 taking over the world.
That's capitalism, baby.
That's ChatGPT 4.0. Look at that.
Somebody put in the prompt, what does capitalism look like?
Woo-wee. That is dope. Bro, that's a crazy ass image, right? That's crazy shit. I love ChatGPT.
And then
I sit on here, I just do images all day.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so if we...
So real quick, a typical passenger vehicle produces 4.6 metric tons of CO2 per year. So
how much does a regular car? What's that versus a...
So the manufacturing of electronic vehicles produces around on average 8.8 tons. So during the manufacturing of an average electronic vehicle, 2.5 to 16 metric tons, averages out at 8.8, right? So it'll take 2 years for the electric vehicle to offset itself versus another car. So if you have a car that you drive like these guys, like me, 4.6 per year, 10 years that you drive around, that's 40 metric tons that we've contributed.
Yeah.
But the Tesla, once it's manufactured, it's manufactured. But that's not including battery replacements because you have to replace the battery.
Every time you go fill your battery up, you go to a diesel pump that charges your battery.
Unless it's an EV one or a solar one, a PV EV station.
So,
but even producing those still costs. At the core of everything, fossil fuels. But once again, if we were to get away from all that, what does that society look like?
Yeah.
That's what I think. Okay, so this is my guess as to what would happen. Say Terrence Howard's right, and you get all these people, entrepreneurs, and everybody's like, let's go. And they start running with it, and then they start building their own society over here. There's still going to be people that are going to stay here, and we're going to have a division of society. You'll have people that will start living in the future with free energy, and then you'll have those that aren't, and then there's going to be the people in between, which will be the smallest faction. So I think that'll be a split of 3.
Yeah. Well, it's
and
just
this
like
side's going to hate this side.
Yeah.
This side's not going to give a fuck. This side's going to be like,
yeah. Well, it's just like we talked last time. All these kids out there with their picket signs throwing paint on these statues and paintings.
that's
If
just,
you want to change things, go watch the movie Undisclosed on Netflix with Dr. Stephen Greer. We've known about free energy for hundreds of years.
we probably had it
You
at
want
one
no
point.
pollution. You want no all that. You don't want pollution. You want free energy. You want amazing cars that run off water. No more oil wars. We're all fighting for the wrong thing. You want to make a difference? Go protest that. Release the patents. Release all these things. There's your answer. We're all fighting over the wrong shit.
We have been for a long time. We've touched on that on a couple of podcasts before.
Yeah. We're all fighting for the wrong thing. Oh, no more gas and no more diesel and you can't have this, you can't have that. And it's like, you're fighting for the wrong thing, right? Like it's like what I always say about like with taxes. If you took a football game and that energy, the Rams versus the Niners or whatever it is, and you took those people in that stadium screaming and yelling and their faces are painted, and you took them and you transported them to the Capitol and you changed their signs to where the hell's my tax money going? If you had that type of energy, shit would change quick. But we're all fighting over the wrong shit.
Well, that goes back to the gladiators.
Yeah. Circus arena.
Keep them distracted.
Throw
Give 'em
bread.
entertainment,
Feed
bread.
the Christians to the lions. Woo! All right, I'm happy. I'm going to go back home.
Yep. Distraction.
Yeah. It's funny, man, but you gotta be open-minded. You gotta look into it. You gotta hear guys like Terrence Howard. You
don't gotta
follow
agree with
guys
them.
like Dr. Stephen
Check
Greer
them
and go, if just 20% of this is right, been lied to, which affects everything. It's like inflation. Like people think, inflation. Oh, the gas prices are going up. No, your food just got more expensive. My haircut just got more expensive. Your rent just went up. Your propane just went up. Electricity went up.
And guess what went down? Your
What?
quality of life.
Quality of life went down. Everything went up because of this one thing. So imagine if he's right and everything that's set in place right now could be different. And everything can be completely different in 10 years. Even if he's just a little bit right.
Well, that's the same thing as, when you're a marksman, and you're aiming down sights. From me to you, if I shoot the gun, doesn't matter if I'm pointing it straight, if I'm pointing a little to the right, I'm going to hit my target. If you're a sniper, a mile,
Yeah.
that little trajectory, you have no idea what will happen.
Yeah. They say the same thing with like a ship. You turn it just a little bit 2 degrees. You're going to hit another continent in 100 miles rather than going where you're supposed to.
Yep, absolutely. And then people like Terrence Howard and what he's doing are instrumental to the advancement or the correction of communities, societies, species all the above. And I think listening to those individuals, don't always have to agree, but just the listening with them, I mean, who knows? You can't measure the qualitative success of something like that.
This was I almost forgot about our videos. This was interesting. Check this out.
Everything came from nothing, and we'll explain everything else. And they can't explain everything else. They can't explain the morphic resonance that's happening between things. Like right now, because I've discovered these wave conjugations, every person on the planet that's been thinking about it will now have ideas concerning it, but not just us, but all humanoids throughout the entire universe will now get that same resonance and be able to apply it like the experiments with the rats.
Right.
You teach a rat something here in London, and then in New York you find the rats are doing the same thing.
Right.
Spontaneously, because of the morphic resonance, because we are all connected on this ether, and that waveform that's the consciousness. We are all just one great being.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they forget. We're not separate. The universe is probably one cell inside of some super organism.
Right.
And we're just little who, little who's like Horton hears a who and trying to make sense of it. And it's a beautiful thing that we're making sense of it. But everything is just one great being. We're all God. That's what Jesus was talking about. That's what Buddha was talking about. It's recognizing the divinity in you. What I did as a child, I said, I'm going.
He's got some great stuff right there,
bro. He's got some super. And so, have you ever seen that rat study?
No.
So Rupert Sheldrake, another amazing scientist, he got shunned at all the universities. There's this study where these rats couldn't figure something out in a maze, and he's saying that we're all connected. So you teach one rat in London, well, get the cheese and show them that if you go this way, then you can get out of the maze. Within not too long, all of a sudden, the rats in New York know how to get out of the maze. Not connected. Same thing with monkeys. They taught a monkey over here how to do something. And all of a sudden, these ones who didn't know how to do it for the longest time, they know how to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? You know, you think of somebody, you ever thought of like somebody from 3rd grade? Man, I wonder how they're doing. My best friend, they add you on Facebook a week later.
Mm-hmm.
That ever happened to you? You ever think of someone and they fucking call you?
It happens to me probably every other day.
Yeah.
Every single other day.
Yeah. What is that though? Like, how do you explain that?
I've thought of that throughout so many years, right? Because I've always, and I noticed it this is where I really noticed it when I was DJing. I would have an idea for like, if I was to perform live in front of 1,000 people, this is what I would do. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be too long before I'd see a DJ do that exact thing. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Where, like, is somebody stealing my ideas? But it happens so frequently, and I started really diving into frequencies and vibrations and stuff like that. What I believe it is depending on where your tethers are, where your frequency is, you tune into a certain realm of thought and or idea. Mm-hmm. And once you're tuned into it, there's ideas there that are waiting to come into reality. It's humans that have the ability to manifest it. Because remember, our souls are inhabiting the body, which gives us life. When the souls leave, the body remains. The person's not here anymore. We're the ones that can take the ideas for the immaterial and turn it into material. And what he's talking about with the morphic resonance is, depending on where you're attuned, what frequency you're attuned to, because you can raise up, you can go down, right? Where you're tuned to, well, that's where you start attracting like-minded people on those frequencies. Yeah. But also opposites, because opposites attract. But you also attract people that you're on the same vibe with.
Yeah.
And that's why people you've never met, you have the same exact idea.
Yeah.
The same exact idea. It's just who has the strongest willpower to bring it in. And that's how I think that's explained. It's just you're tuned into a certain frequency.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, that doesn't make sense. I can't. Da, da, da.
Yeah. So that's why I think everything he said was just amazing. I was like, this was a badass podcast, dude.
Yeah.
But what you just made me think of is, you even notice in high school, you gravitate towards people that are like you.
I have.
We had a whole football team. I gravitated towards you and a few other guys. We have the same personalities. We like the same old movies.
Yep.
And then I got my other buddy Alex in that group because I have a lot of different groups of friends. And not even knowing it, you always end up with the people that are like you. Somehow in high school, like the first day, maybe like freshman year, but by like sophomore year, you kind of have your people.
Yep.
You know, like you all have the same movie quotes. Oh my God, that was my favorite. And then other people are like, not really. I'm going to go over here. Like everyone starts getting there. Dude, and so like if you zoom out of a high school, right, we all just look like little cells like binding to each other. You know what I mean? Like he said, like we're all like little who's, and something up here, I don't even know you, but somehow I went over, stood next to you and started talking. You were like, that's some crazy shit. I like that. I like that kind of stuff too. And you're like, the fuck? Did we just become best friends?
We just become best friends?
What the hell?
It's easy to become best friends, those guys.
Yeah.
Super easy.
Yeah.
To add
crazy.
to that.
But it's like, how do you explain that? The fuck?
Well,
we're a matrix.
That's what I was going to say, man. It's all just a program,
We're
right?
a fucking matrix.
So let me add to that. So we didn't connect this dot, one of the groups, my boys, we didn't connect this dot until real recently because one of our friends came out and he let us know that his dad that we believed to be his dad wasn't his real dad. He didn't even know until he was 31, 32. But me, Ian, Casey.
Ian's another guy. I bonded
Patrick,
with that guy, bro. I bonded with Ian.
Mike.
Yeah.
One of our other buddies, I won't say his name. All of us, like our core best friends that's still tight to this day, every single one of us, daddy issues and stepdads. Every single one of us was raised by a stepdad.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The whole group, not one of our dudes is bonded with his father.
Damn.
We didn't know that back in junior high and high school. But that's the core group that stuck.
Yeah. You didn't know each other's backgrounds until later.
And like we knew it was a stepdad, but we never connected. We didn't see that. Like, wait, that's weird.
Yeah.
How is it that all of us, and two of them are from another country or not another state? They came from Hawaii and they landed in Fresno.
Yeah.
So what are the odds?
Yeah.
What do you like you said? What do you call it? That's bizarro, bro.
There is no
Bizarre.
I don't know, man. I don't think there is any type of like coincidence anymore. I really don't. Even when horrible shit happened in my life, for other things to end up the way they did later, I'm like, oh, it's actually a good thing that happened.
Yep.
That's crazy. It's a good thing I didn't stay there.
Yep.
Or you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's crazy. It's like, how do you explain that though?
Well, you said it earlier. You're not supposed to do it through your own understanding.
Don't even try to understand it, bro.
Just it's called surrender and
Just
acceptance.
stay open-minded.
And positive, and
Yeah.
do your best, and just trudge along. That's the best thing that I've ever learned from my life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's crazy.
You also gotta look back and be grateful for the hell you went through.
Yeah. Yeah, it shapes you. And I think that when certain things shape you, like if you imagine each body is like radiating frequencies in different colors,
Yeah.
like when someone gets mad or when you get hot and cold and your body turns green and red and blue, I feel like we're just all like that walking through a matrix, right? And whatever signals you give off, those ripples go out into the river and they bounce off other people like a sonar, and they find the people that you're supposed to be around. Which is also why I'm learning that prayer is so real, because certain things, I don't know what it is, certain things have always just happened after I pray about them for a while, not like immediately, like it'll have to be for a while, but then I meet this person for my business and I'm like,
This is exactly what I needed.
this is exactly what I've been praying for 3 months. You know what I mean? I'm like, but this guy met that guy, which meant that guy, and he just happened to be there that day I was there.
Yep.
And I have a business. You want to, you can pay me to run your YouTube. I'm like, how did that happen? I've been looking for you for 2 years. You know what I mean? I think prayer puts out that frequency, and when it comes back, those ripples hit the right people, and like the chessboard starts moving.
Ting, ting.
Chessboard starts moving.
Electricity, electromagnet pulls you in.
Yeah.
Also, life has a certain equation. So when we anchor this is what I found out to be kind of true for me, I guess. At least I pretend it is because it's a fun thought.
Yeah.
So when you have the vision, I pretend that's like my future self echoing back, like, oh, Alex, this is what we could become if you go this path, if you go this path, if you go this path, right? So if you anchor yourself to that, it automatically starts pulling you towards it. But for you to become that, you have to go through certain things to become that person. But along the way, while those ripples are coming back, you're the people that you need, maybe they're not even close to being ready. Maybe they're not even born yet.
Yeah.
That's where it gets really interesting. The person I need is probably could not even be born yet.
Damn.
Maybe it's your kid. Maybe the person I need that's going to take me to the next level is raising my sons and my daughters.
Yeah.
They're not even alive yet. So it's such an interesting thought to have.
Ooh, buddy. Almost dropped that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
buddy. But that goes back to the surrender of the universe, surrender back to God, whatever title you want to put on it, because you might want it, but you might not be ready for the opportunity.
Yeah.
So God's like,
You might have those shields
right.
up, and those vibrations are bouncing off you, and it's going, I'm trying to get to you, dude, but your shield's up. You're like, I can't. You're not getting where you're supposed to go.
Yep.
What's interesting though about that is I listened to this podcast and they were talking about something I heard a long time ago. Even just thinking, people who have cancer think that they don't, and it just goes away. It's like there was that guy that was paralyzed from an airplane accident, and he just kept thinking, wiggle your big toe, wiggle your big toe. They were like, he's a vegetable. He's not even here. And he would hear people coming in and out. Before you know it, his little toe went bloop. Before you know it, his leg was moving. And they were like, we don't know how to explain this. I think our brains, we only use 10% of our brain. It's like, dude, if this Terrence Howard guy is right, and we start really looking into all this shit, and we start to really understand like what these Buddhists and these different religions have been talking about for thousands of years, and they go inside these caves that have perfect, vibrant, 440 hertz, and they're going Om, and they're trying to go to another place. It's like, damn, what have they really known that we haven't this whole time? And we're just distracted, like we're on fucking Instagram, like, oh, and it's like, no, you should be practicing moving shit with your brain. And it's like, oh man, I didn't know we could do that. I wasted all my time on Instagram. Or trying to get money to feed my family and pay my taxes, or it's crazy when you think about when you hear about people who can cure things with their thoughts. They're like, yeah, I was in my cancer center, but I just watched funny stuff all day, and I kept telling myself, yeah, I'm healthy, whole, and I don't have cancer. And then, I was out of there in 6 months, and all the other people are still in there hooked up to their chemo. It's like, what? What the hell? That shit's documented. Like, what? How did you do that? It's crazy.
So you can also look at Paul Stamets, one of the leading researchers on mushrooms. He had a stutter when he was younger. He ate a big old bag of mushrooms, and it's a wild story.
Apparently his life is in danger.
Yeah. Portobello mushrooms are the reason why.
Damn.
The FBI came and knocking on his door.
That's crazy.
With the Black Hawk helicopter above his office.
What?
Yeah, bro. You never listened to Paul Stamets' stories and what he's been through? Go back on Joe Rogan. Go back to his YouTube videos.
I didn't hear all that. Was that on Joe Rogan?
Paul Stamets. Yep. Listen to his stuff, dude.
All right, here's this last one
gnarly.
real quick.
All right, last one. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
But he fixed his stutter in less than 24 hours.
Damn.
Our world was built off of my first patent that was abandoned because I paid $260,000 for the worldwide patent, but then my agents my lawyers kept sending me these maintenance fees and annuities, and I'm like, these folks are just trying to shake me down. I'm later. If you would pull up my World of Windows patent, I think it's one of the first patents up there, I want you to see where your AR/VR world came from. And you look at the list of companies that has cited, and didn't just cite it, they built their entire AR/VR world off of my World of Windows patent. Can you pull that up, Jamie? Of the virtual
sensory experience, a system and method of
money. This patent has earned over $7 trillion.
And you didn't get a piece.
And I haven't gotten a penny of it. When they did all of the Black Lives Matter, like Raytheon Company, and IBM, if you
crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Imagine one of these companies gets a hold of one of these other patents. Scary shit, bro.
So to wrap this up, what do you think, Terrence Howard? Crazy Or maybe crazy right.
Oh, I already told you he's gonna be in court pretty soon. All the press is gonna be hate. I'm gonna know he's onto something when the press goes, he beat this child when he was younger. He hit his wife. Oh, there's these sex allegations. There's a tape of Terrence Howard. Bro. If that comes down, I'm gonna be like, he's right.
You mean they're gonna turn him into Diddy?
They're gonna turn him into Trump and Diddy. They're gonna turn him into that's when you know that they're on to something. Well, Diddy's a little different than Trump.
Diddy's a lot different.
Trump. I used to not like Trump and believe anything he said, but
and now you like Trump.
But the more they came down on him, and it actually made me look into it, I was like, oh shit, he was right. Yep. Oh damn, we haven't been in any wars. I was like, watch, they're gonna Trump his ass.
So that's interesting. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze here a second. So that's interesting. Trump probably didn't do everything right, but he did a lot right by the American people. Yeah. Media came down on him hard.
I've never seen the media come down on any president.
Did a lot of bad, and nobody ever came down on him.
Yeah. Well, that's a different world, though, right?
That's a big.
He's connected to people. You don't want to be. If you're at the freaky house, you don't want that shit coming out.
Do you know who else is really connected to some freaky people that nobody wants to have a conversation about her with? Oprah.
Oh, wasn't Oprah a shaman dude that murdered
She had a shaman that like murdered or raped people.
Some shit.
Her spiritual healer.
Yeah.
Bad dude.
That's not
sex trafficking, I think.
Yeah.
She was good friends with Harvey Weinstein, Diddy, and there's somebody else on that list.
That's some creepy shit.
Oh wait, wasn't it the guy that didn't Epstein?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the funny thing about Diddy,
she does, in her defense, she has photos with everybody. So
that's what Okay, we'll wrap it up after this. Promise. I don't think everyone on the Epstein logbook is a pedophile. If you got invited to a party on an island, of course you're gonna go. Mm-hmm. Just because I went to a party that a bunch of weirdos invited, I didn't know. I even went twice because I didn't see anything. I went once, met this guy. A year goes by. Yeah, I flew out there again. They invited me to the other party. I met some good connections. But if you go a third time, you gotta have seen some shit.
But maybe that was the whole point.
Yeah.
We gotta have some people here for just regular parties.
I bet everyone's on that shit. Like even like they said on some podcast, they were like, Epstein, he wanted the scientists to come because he was all in the eugenics and shit, right? Mm. When he said Brad Pitt's going to be there, Will Smith's going to be here, we're going to have all these girls and singers, the scientists were like, oh, fuck, we'll come to the island. This guy is really popular. They were all just a front. Now, if you go to the island 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Bill Clinton 27 times, you're fucking weirdo. You've seen some shit. 1 or 2 times, maybe even 3 times. Okay, you flew in, you flew out. Whatever, I don't think you're a pedophile. You know what I mean? Mm. But you're on that logbook 27 times, Mr. Clinton.
He was 27 times?
And you have, Clinton's on there like 27 times. Jeez, and you got a portrait of you in a dress, a blue dress, in the house. That's weird. Yeah, and what's her name? Ellen DeGeneres? Her whole studio looks exactly like the island. I'm like, what are we doing, bro? Yeah. Now you're a weirdo. But 50 Cent just came out. I saw a little bit ago. 50 Cent just released his documentary on Diddy and sold it to the highest bidder, which is Netflix. Apparently, 50 Cent has been capturing data for years.
50 Cent shares Diddy documentary update amid legal issues. Sexual assault. 50 Cent exposes all the rappers Diddy slept with. Ooh.
You see that video that came out the other day of Diddy in a dress with a wig, all in his feels. He's dressed like a girl and he's all singing. I don't think that shit was supposed to leak, but I think 50 Cent leaked that shit out just to warm people up.
Hold up. 50 Cent and Cat Williams. We went way off topic on this one. Maybe you just cut this and we'll go jump to another. But hold up, man. Maybe we'll talk. Let this feel up a little bit. Oh, but ultimately, I don't care what older guy. Like you gay, you gay. You buy. Yeah. You show. I don't care. So when kids get involved, I got a problem. But 50 Cent and Cat Williams leaked video of Diddy's freak off with Kevin Hart. What is that?
We should wrap it up here before this video gets completely pulled off YouTube.
Man.
All right, man. You got anything else on that?
Nope. I'm good.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.
Later.